Wait, did you see this coming? The New York Giants just made a move that changed everything before training camp even started. But before we get into the heart of this roster bombshell, I want to know who is watching right now. Please, drop your name and the city you are representing in the comments below. We love seeing the Big Blue family spread across the globe. And if you bleed blue and want the Giants to dominate this year, smash that like button right now to help this video reach every single Giants fan out there. Now let's talk business. We are just days away from the first practice at the Greenbrier Resort, and instead of settling in, the Giants are clearing house. On Saturday, the front office officially waived linebacker Cam Jones and defensive tackle CJ Ravenel. This leaves two massive holes in the 90-man roster. Why now? Why these two? The timing is absolutely critical because the churn at the bottom of the roster can often determine the hidden gems that make or break a season. We are looking at a team that needs every bit of depth it can get. The pressure is on Joe Schoen and John Harbaugh to find the right pieces before the first whistle blows on Wednesday. This isn't just a minor transaction. It's a signal that the evaluation process is ruthless this year. If you aren't ready to go, you are out. It's as simple as that. We are going to break down exactly what happened to these two players and who might be taking their places in the coming hours. Stay tuned because the details behind these departures are stranger than you might think. Let's start with the most bizarre story of the weekend, Cam Jones. At 26 years old, Jones was expected to be a solid contributor, especially on special teams where he played almost exclusively during his 10-game stint with the Giants. Before landing in New York, he spent 2 years with the powerhouse Kansas City Chiefs, learning what it takes to be part of a championship culture. But his journey with Big Blue has come to an abrupt and, frankly, weird end. According to reports, an injury during minicamp was the beginning of the end. But it wasn't a football injury on the turf. Get this. It was cited that Jones suffered an ankle injury while moving boxes. Yes, you heard that right. A professional athlete, fighting for a roster spot in the most competitive league in the world, sidelined by a domestic accident. It sounds like something out of a movie, but the reality is harsh. In the NFL, availability is the best ability. If you can't practice during the crucial minicamp stage because of an off-field mishap, the coaches start looking elsewhere. The mention of John Harbaugh citing this injury adds a layer of intrigue to the situation, suggesting that the word on Jones's physical status was well circulated. For a guy who was primarily a special teams asset, losing that momentum is a death sentence for his roster spot. The Giants simply couldn't afford to wait for that ankle to heal while other hungry linebackers were showing out. It's a cautionary tale for every player on the bubble. Everything matters, even what you do when you're moving house. Now, the Giants are down a veteran special teams presence, and the search for a replacement is officially on. Then we have the case of CJ Ravenel. This one is even more of a whirlwind. The Giants claimed Ravenel less than 3 weeks ago. He was picked up after being waived off the injured reserve by the Tennessee Titans. It looked like the Giants were willing to take a flyer on the defensive tackle to see if he could provide some muscle in the trenches during camp. But his tenure in New York lasted about as long as a summer breeze. He was let go with a non-football injury designation. This is a specific tag that often suggests a player arrived with an issue that didn't happen on an NFL field, or perhaps failed a physical right before the pads came on. For Ravenel, this is a devastating blow. To be claimed and then cut in under 21 days shows that the Giants' medical or coaching staff saw something they just couldn't work with. When you're an undrafted or fringe player, you usually get one shot to make an impression. Ravenel didn't even make it to the first official practice of training camp. This leaves the defensive tackle rotation a bit thin as they head to West Virginia. The Giants are clearly looking for a specific type of durability and reliability that Ravenel couldn't provide at this moment. It raises the question, who did Joe Schoen see on the waiver wire or in the free agent pool that made him comfortable cutting bait this quickly? You don't just open up spots for no reason. There is almost certainly a move or a pair of moves waiting in the wings. The churn at the bottom of the roster is a real thing, and Ravenel just found himself on the wrong side of the business. So what happens next? The Giants are heading to the Greenbrier Resort, a world-class facility that offers the perfect backdrop for the intensity of training camp. The first practice is set for Wednesday, but the real action might happen on Tuesday. With 2 open spots, the rumor mill is spinning. It is highly likely that the Giants will hold a workout on Tuesday to fill these vacancies. They need bodies for the grind of camp, but more importantly, they need competition. When you look at the linebacker and defensive tackle positions, there are several veterans still sitting on the market who could provide an immediate upgrade over the depth they just lost. Or, Schoen might look to the UFL or recent cuts from other teams to find a young, hungry prospect who fits the developmental timeline. The Greenbrier is where the team bonds, but it's also where the roster is forged in fire. By the time the team hits the field on Wednesday, we expect to see 2 new faces wearing the blue and white. This is the part of the season that fans don't always see, the behind-the-scenes scramble to ensure the 90-man roster is at full strength. Every rep in training camp is precious. If you have 2 empty spots, that's dozens of reps going to waste every single day. The Giants are in a race against time to get their new additions processed, physicaled, and onto the plane. Who do you want to see them sign? Is there a veteran defensive tackle out there that makes sense for Big Blue? Maybe a former starter looking for a 1-year prove-it deal? The possibilities are fascinating, and the clock is ticking. As we wrap this up, let's look at the big picture. The Giants are coming off a season of ups and downs, and the pressure on John Harbaugh to return to the playoffs is immense. These minor roster moves might seem small to the casual observer, but they tell a story of a front office that is not satisfied with just okay. Cutting a player because of an injury while moving boxes or a non-football injury shows a lack of tolerance for anything that gets in the way of preparation. The Giants are trying to build a culture of professional excellence from the top of the roster all the way down to player number 90. As we head into the heat of August, every transaction will be scrutinized. Will these 2 open spots be filled by special teams demons or defensive line depth that can actually rotate in on Sundays? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, Big Blue View and this channel will be here to cover every single move. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Giants made the right call cutting Jones and Ravenell so close to camp? And who is your dream late summer signing for the G-Men? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a breaking news update on your New York Giants. We are just getting started, and the road to the Super Bowl goes through the hard work starting this Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Big Blue. See you in the next one where we will discuss the results of those Tuesday workouts.